Welcome to Birdseeds. I shot a video this week that I put up on my social media pages, and it was really talking about what do sellers want. And I mean, we're going to talk in terms of real estate specifically because obviously that's my world and that's what inspired this sort of thought process. But it goes well beyond just real estate. But what does a seller want? Well, specifically in real estate, a seller wants the most amount of money, right? Highest offer. But is the highest offer always the best offer? No, it's not. Many times, many times, sellers don't choose the highest offer because maybe it's not the best. So, what's that other missing piece? What is it that they want beyond the highest offer? They want less risk. And that's just, I think, a really interesting way to put it and phrase it. Seller wants the most amount of money with the least amount of risk to get that money. But what does that mean? What does less risk mean? Again, specifically in real estate, if there's an appraisal contingency, so a buyer could offer $1 million on a $300,000 house. That's awesome. But if they need an appraisal to get it, there's probably no comps to support that $1 million. So is it going to appraise for $1 million when the highest comp in the community is 300? No, probably not. It shouldn't. It very unlikely will. Well, if the buyer's offer of $1 million is contingent on that appraisal, no, unfortunately, it's kind of fool's gold, right? It's not really going to settle for $1 million because, their contingent on the appraisal is not going to come in there to support it. So, other things like home inspections. Not that I'd ever recommend to any of my buyers to waive inspections. I've never recommended it, I don't think, or a very specific situation where it would make sense. But a lot of buyers are doing that in this market. And as a seller, there's less risk in that offer. Less likelihood it's going to fall through based on something that came up in the inspection. Less likely a buyer is going to use that inspection contingency to get out because they really just have cold feet, which we see quite a bit, especially at the pace of this market. So those are factors that go into it. What amount of risk does the seller have to take to get to the highest offer? And that's where sometimes not the most amount of money is the better offer for the seller because it may already go well above what they were expecting to get, and maybe there's no risk for them to get it. We're seeing things like buyers offering non-refundable deposit monies. Well, that's lowering the risk for two reasons. One, if they do back out, the seller gets compensation for that without having to fight for it. Two, the seller is way less likely to back out for any reason when they're going to definitely lose money for doing it. So, I think, again, just that concept, the most amount of money with the least amount of risk. And I think it applies to everything. If you're selling anything, it's risk and it's price. So the other concept I came up with that kind of hits on this is the concept of value being, value is a three-headed beast. How much time is going to be involved, how much effort is going to be involved, and how much money is there. And the combination of those three will be used to meet somebody's individual values. So as you're thinking about making an offer as a buyer on a property, in this case a property, but on anything, think about that. What does it mean to you and your value? How does your value meet the seller's value? So if you're going to give them an offer and you're talking about, how much you're going to give them, certainly the most important part of an offer is how much you're going to give them, but think about how much effort and how much time do they need to get it. So your offer should address that. How much effort does the seller need to do? Do they need to make repairs based on inspection? Do they need to do any of those things? Right? If you waive inspections, you go as is, you're removing the effort that they have to put in. And then how much time do they need to wait? How quick can you get to settlement? Right? If you factor in all those things in, and you're basically making it less risk and less effort and less time, you're creating an offer that's more valuable that may not need to be the highest offer. Obviously, you're going to be limited by your abilities based on your finances, based on your risk, your personal risk thresholds. But keeping that in mind in this sort of reverse psychology that we have right now in this crazy competitive market, I think it's really important for people to sort of put their head around and put their eyes around, put their minds around, implement. Once again, Birdseeds, keep value, keep risk, keep price in mind when you're negotiating. Thanks for listening. Take care.